So question number 16, we're asked to factor the trinomial, and factoring involves always first factoring greatest common factor. So for A, we have 25xy, 15x squared, 30x squared y squared. For the number parts, the greatest common factor is going to be the 5. We have a common x, and we don't have a common y, so that's all the common pieces. So when we factor, we have to always write down what's going to be left behind when we take out the 5x. So in this case, we're still going to be left with the number 5. So 25 divided by 5 is 5. And then we take out the x, we're left with y. Then we must go to the next term. 15 divided by 5 is going to give me 3. So there's going to be 3 left behind. And if we take 1x out, we're still left with 1x in the brackets. Minus, make sure you keep track of your signs. 30 divided by 5 is going to be 6, so we're going to have a 6 left behind. We take out an x, we're still going to have an x left behind, and the y squared still remains behind. So there's our factoring. It does ask us to check by expansion, so expansion means that we're going to take that term and we're going to distribute it across the pluses and minuses. When we do that, we get 25xy plus 5 times 3 is 15. X times x is x squared. 5 times 6 is our 30. X times x gives us x squared. And we have the y squared there. So these match. So we have factored this correctly. So we'll do maybe one more here. Taking a look at, let's look at F. So we have 7r cubed s cubed, 14r squared s squared, 21r s squared. We look at the number parts first. There's a common 7. Okay, for the r's, there's a r cubed r squared r, so we can take out one r because there's one r common to all three. We take a look at the s. There's s cubed, s squared, s squared. So there's a common s squared. So we're going to take that out, and that's our greatest common factor. Now, factoring doesn't just involve getting a greatest common factor. We need to actually see what's left behind. So there's the number parts. 7 divided by 7 is just 1. R cubed, take out an r or divide by r. We're left with r squared. S cubed, take out s squared. We're left with just 1s. Then we move on to the next term. 14 divided by 7 is 2, so we have a 2 left behind. R squared divided by r is going to be r. S squared divided by s squared, they just cancel out, so we're just left with no s's. So basically, if we take out s squared, we're left with no s's. Minus 21 divided by 7 is 3. rs squared divided by rs squared, well, the rs squareds are all gone, so we're just left with a 3 in there. Okay, so then again, we're just going to check this by expansion. I'm going to take that term and I'm going to expand it by distributing across the plus and minus. So we get 7. R times r squared is r cubed. S squared times s is x cubed. Plus 7 times 2 is 14. R times r is r squared. And then we also have the s squared there. Minus 3 times 7 is 21. And we have the rs come with that. And again, we check that with what we started with. I did a mistake here because I should have multiplied by s squared. So when we check our answer here, our answers here match. Okay, so then this must be the correct factoring.